Hello and welcome to Autocar Professional. I am Prerna Liddu and it's a delight. Today I'm joined by Mr. Piyush Arora, who's the MD and CEO at Skoda Auto Volkswagen India. Hello, sir. Always a delight to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a very interesting time, very uncertain time. Rather, it will be fair to start with how is the group coping with the West Asia crisis? What is the kind of supply chain issues that we're facing currently, and how do you see the equation normalizing, because we talk of a VUCA world? What is going to be the strategy for the group going forward?
I think for Volkswagen Group, being a global group, has a substantial amount of presence in that region as well.
Yeah.
And the first concern for all of us within the group is the safety and security of our people and also all our establishment there. Having said that, the developments of the last days show that there is a hope that the conflict might get resolved sooner than later. But we have seen some amount of impacts coming because of that in the last days, because of supply chain lead times, as well as some amount of shortages for the oil related byproducts, gases in India, etc. I can only say that at this point in time, considering the overall lead times, there has not been a disruption in our operations. Uh, and if the solution comes sooner, then I do believe that things might stay that way. But to cater to the daily production requirements and coming also from the government's recommendation of using gas, we have been able to accommodate and work as per those guidelines. And we have been able to manage our operations till now. The the impact on commodity prices will have to be evaluated, whether they remain momentarily or they remain sustainably high. Then we will have to see what are the implications and how we can circumvent the cost
So we
implications.
could see a lot more price increases if the situation persists.
First of all, there will be cost increases, and I think there has to be methods to find optimizations to those costs. But if it is really for a sustained period of time, then there would be a need for looking at the prices as well.
Right. This has also sort of prompted us to look at a multi-fuel powertrain future, because it's better for de-risking, better from a cafe perspective. So what is the group's view on that?
Not only driven from the present crisis, I think overall strategy for the group has been to move towards electrification, and it remains there. These short-term challenges, of course, can make you think a little bit more in that direction. But having said that, the group strategy of electrification and as well as transitional technologies of hybrids or flex fuel would be the opportunities which we have to work on.
Okay. But then again, like when we look at the competition, they've sort of defined their future strategies, whether it's hybrids, CNG, a lot more India-specific solutions in certain segments. So how do you sort of approach that from an India point of view?
First of all, I would say that the product offerings which we have right now are highly efficient gasoline engines, and we continue to work in that direction. And it is also market driven, because there is very high degree of market acceptance for the products which we have. Uh, as I was referring to, that the future of our group, which is electrification, and we are the largest electric vehicle seller in the European market.
Yeah.
We do believe that we have opportunities in India as well, as the Indian market will evolve. Today, we see around 4% market penetration of electric vehicle. I do think that by the turn of the decade, we will see double digit penetration, and that's the timeline we are looking at to enter that space.
Sure. Another thing that is obviously going to be a big opportunity for you is going to be FTAs. How will that play out? We don't have the fine print yet, but then how will it sort of affect your strategy going forward, especially from an export point of view, from getting more models, faster launches? So how will that sort of play out?
Being a global OEM and having presence in various markets, we are always have been a proponent of bilateral trade agreement between India and EU. We have heartily welcomed the Government of India as well as EU Commission's initiative to come to an agreement on this. You yourself said that the fine print is not available, but I do believe that our group, the way we are doing business in India, gives us uh, opportunity to utilize all facets of the bilateral trade agreement, whether it is parts and components, whether it is localization, whether it is FBU importation. But having said that, there is also a lot of things which are unclear in terms of how the quota administration will happen, and quotas have been provided for a limited number of cars. So, for looking at that, we do believe that there would be an opportunity in each of these areas. uh, Localization and bringing in Indian product will also be highly supported by this, because our strategy in India has been to develop a product in India for Indian market, but also ready for exports. So far, we have been exporting to 40 different countries across the globe. But with the bilateral trade agreement coming in with the EU, there might be some opportunities, and we will have to evaluate that going forward. So I do believe that our group will have the widest possible opportunity for utilizing the FTA benefit both ways, from India to EU as well as from EU to India. It will give us an opportunity also to bring in new technologies much faster. It will give us an opportunity to diversify our product portfolio.
Yeah. And also Indian market is very interesting. For example, we've seen, I mean, competitive landscape developing so much. We see so many segment first features. So is that always a challenge to get those premium features at an aggressive price point? How do you, because across the group brands, how difficult is it to sort of democratize that technology, European technology, as you call it? How is that, I mean, how do you approach this conundrum?
The success lies in more and more developing the technologies and adapting the technologies in India and localizing them. So our strategy has been clearly that we are putting in more focus and efforts in our product development and engineering going forward. We made good beginning with India 2.0 program, and made substantial amount of movement with 2.5 when we designed the complete head of Kailak in India. This gives us a confidence and opportunity to move in this direction even further. Uh, my thought process is to remain agile to the Indian market, and to be able to be competitive, we should be able to develop and adapt our products in the local market. So that's the approach which we are taking, and we are focusing and enhancing our engineering and product development capabilities in India going forward.
Right. If you could give us some color on how the product aggressive is going to play out, because we're standing in the beginning of a new financial year. How is that going to play out at a group level in terms of product planning? If current uncertainties have sort of affected that product launches, and how do you sort of see from a different group perspective? Because again, in India, it's a very different market and approach and strategy from your global point of view.
The product planning is a long lead time process, and since we are into all the three spaces, as I just mentioned, locally developed engineered products, parts and component business of ours, and FBU. So we had already planned our this year portfolio across the group for almost 18, 19 product interventions. At this point in time, I could say that we are on track in the first quarter to what we had planned so far. Uh, of course, in our product portfolio, there are also FBUs which we want to address. The initial discussions about free trade agreement or bilateral trade agreement between India and EU, as well as India and UK, since we have Bentley as a brand as well.
Yeah.
So has some amount of apprehensions amongst initial customers. But I do believe that going forward, as the discussions will go on, there might be over the years opportunities for that as well. We might have to adapt some of those plans going forward, but as of now, we stay on track for our 18 to 19 product intervention
Sure.
in this year.
Sure, sure. If you could leave us with some growth projections for FY27, how are you looking at different growth, different product portfolios developing and their growth strategies going forward? Because again, this is the time when you sort of evaluate growth strategies for the whole year. So how difficult is this time for you?
My year starts with January. So to be honest, we define our strategy January to December. Having said that, I have seen definitely that we were expecting at beginning of this year that market to grow mid to high single digits, 6-7% or something was our aspiration. And since I've been saying it that we want to gain more market share, so we have to grow faster than that, of course, and that's our aspiration at this point in time. We have seen a good amount of momentum in the first quarter. In the first quarter, we have seen already double-digit growth, and we have done also better than the market at this point in time. Uh, I would not put in any further expectations going forward, considering the geopolitical situation at this point in time. But I remain hopeful that we will grow with the market or better than the market.
Yeah, but a lot of benefits that we got after GST, is this time sort of, do you see an offset because of that, because of price increases, dollar becoming more, rupee versus dollar becoming more expensive, forex pressures? So is that sort of getting offset now, and then like we'll see a better rationalization going forward?
Uh, on the price positioning, I can only say that the market got the benefit, of course, of the GST rationalization. So there have been negative cost impacts. Both you rightly said about the commodities and the cost price pressures, as well as the pressures coming from the foreign exchange. If your dependence is higher on certain products on the imports. Having said that, we will have to evaluate going forward based on the market price positioning of what kind of steps we will have to take for that.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much for spending time with us and sharing those insights.
Welcome. Thank you very much.